Hello and good afternoon from here in Munich. Now today we're going to be heading to Zürich in Switzerland aboard an SBB EuroCity train. Booked a first class ticket for today's journey and I'm told there's some spectacular scenery in store as we make our way into the Alps. So just going to head across to München Hauptbahnhof and let's head to Zürich.
Now, München Hauptbahnhof is hardly the most eye-catching of Germany's grand railway terminals. While there has been a station on this site since 1849, the current building dates from just after the Second World War. Outside the station, you'll find interchange access to Munich's tram system. Within the station itself, there's also direct interchange access to U-Bahn underground trains and S-Bahn suburban trains. Now I found the concourse to be quite open and spacious, with shops and cafes being dotted in and around the area. While okay, the selection on offer isn't quite as good as in other German stations, such as in Berlin, Frankfurt and Leipzig.
Bitte bleiben Sie bis zum Halt des Zuges im Aufenthaltsbereich des Bahnsteigs.
Some ticket machines and a travel centre, operated by the German national operator Deutsche Bahn, can be found just to my left. As the service we'll be travelling on is operated in partnership with Deutsche Bahn, it's possible to buy tickets for it here, although the best prices are always going to be found if you purchase in advance of travel and online. Right, time to head over to the platform and catch our ride to Zürich. The service we'll be taking today is EuroCity Express number 190, with departure scheduled for 5 to 3. The service through to Zürich today will be operated by this RABe 503 New Pendolino. Built by Alstom, they were first delivered to SBB in 2014. Each unit is formed of 7 coaches, and the type has a certified top speed of 250 km an hour or 155 miles an hour, although we won't be hitting anything of the sorts today. Oh, and if you're wondering, owing to the fact that different parts of Switzerland speak different languages, SBB has 3 different abbreviations. SBB, which is the one most commonly used in English, is the German abbreviation, with CFF being the French one, and finally FFS, no, not what you should exclaim if your train is delayed, but rather the Italian abbreviation. First class is located in the front 2 coaches in this instance, and I have reserved coach 1, seat 14 today. Now first class consists of these rather stylish and spacious seats, laid out in a 2+1 configuration. Even for 6'1" me, I found legroom to be plentiful. The usual footrest seat-back pocket combo is ever present here, as well as a rather large and sturdy tray table, which is always nice. A bin can be found located between the seats in front. Both a standard European and a Swiss/Italian plug can be found per pair of seats. Now, I found the level of recline offered on these seats to be very good indeed. Excellent should you want to grab an afternoon nap. The reading lights can be found on this rather stylish stand, meaning they'll be nice and close to whatever it is you're wanting to illuminate. The seats themselves are really rather good too, being nice and spacious and very comfortable overall, just what you want from a first class seat. And lastly, if alpine views aren't to your taste, or perhaps the sun's just glaring a bit too much for your liking, then a window blind is provided. Overall, a very good hard product. Anyway, before we set off, let's just take a quick look at our route for today. Our journey will see us heading southwest from Munich and via Memmingen, before briefly crossing into Austria, and finally entering Switzerland. Scheduled travel time to Zürich is 3 hours and 32 minutes, and our top speed will be 160 km an hour or 99 miles an hour. and we depart Munich on time. We're soon out with the reaches of Munich's urban sprawl and heading across the countryside towards Memmingen and the Alps.
Herzlich willkommen im EuroCity Express auf dem Weg nach Zürich über München.
We eventually arrive in the town of Memmingen, which is home to one of the nicest and best preserved old town areas in the south of Germany. Sounds like I may have to pay a visit next time I'm in the vicinity. Right, time for a wander. I found in the past that Pendolinos can often feel rather dark and claustrophobic in order to allow for the train's tilting function, but not this one. These new Pendolinos, with their rather bright and spacious feeling interiors, are fast becoming some of my favourite high-speed trains to travel on in Europe. At the forward end of the restaurant car, you'll find a large, accessible toilet, as well as space for wheelchair users. I was pleased to find that the rather nice-looking onboard restaurant was open for business. It was also nice to see people making good use of it. As I ate in Munich, I won't be dining here today, but I'll leave the menu in the description below. The remaining 4 coaches are where you'll find the second class accommodation. The seats here are not too dissimilar from those found in first class, albeit in a 2+2 configuration. In addition to rather spacious overhead racks in the saloon, stacks can be found in the vestibules. Simply fold them down to store bags, or, and this is rather cool, leave them folded up for storing ski equipment. Time for the good old toilet review. You'll find one at one end of each coach, and I was pleased to find that these were generally clean, well stocked, and in good working order. As expected, this train is kitted out with complimentary Wi-Fi, and, while hardly award-winning, it should be fast enough for at least some light browsing. While I didn't eat in the restaurant, I did grab this rather nice latte on the way back to my seat, although it did set me back a rather eye-watering 5 francs 40. Back outside, we're now approaching the Alps as we close in on Austria. Lindau-Reutin is our final stop in Germany. Situated on the eastern shores of Lake Constance, the town is only located around 3 kilometres or 1.75 miles from the border with Austria. After departing Lindau, we find ourselves following the shores of Lake Constance, which, needless to say, provided some rather nice views. In terms of surface area, it's the third largest freshwater lake in Western and Central Europe. A short while later, we arrive in Bregenz, our one and only stop in Austria. Not long later, and we're in St. Margrethen, Switzerland, meaning we've now been in 3 countries in the space of 20 minutes. Only in Europe have I ever experienced this. Regarding ride quality, I found this to be very good. While the train does tilt, you won't really notice it unless you're looking for it, and the overall smoothness of the ride was good too. Next up is St. Gallen, with the main attraction here being the Abbey of St. Gall, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Also, note that, due to various hold-ups, we were running about 15 minutes late by this point. Unfortunately, for the last hour or so into Zurich, it was too dark to see much. Our penultimate intermediate stop today is Winterthur, which is our first calling point in the wider Zurich canton, or region. Our last stop prior to arriving into central Zurich is at Zurich Airport. Despite the delay, which can certainly be expected once in a while, I really enjoyed this trip. The seats were comfy, the interiors were very pleasant, and the scenery was rather nice. As for the cost, well, that wasn't bad too, as I paid €29.90. Booking through Deutsche Bahn approximately a month prior to departure. Considering that this is first class in a part of the world that typically isn't known for being that cheap, I don't think that's too bad at all. So a rather pleasant ride overall, but what did you make of it all? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. We eventually arrive into Zurich Hauptbahnhof, around half an hour late at about 5 to 7. With that, I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to help us out by giving it a like. If you're new to the channel, then be sure to subscribe and enable notifications as I publish new trip reports every Monday and Friday. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you on Monday.